Another profitable week. Another profitable week. I mean, the market really tested me this week. It really tested me. On Monday, it tested me with what I call FOMO. That is the fear of missing out on a trade. On Tuesday, patience. On Wednesday, patience. Then on Thursday, it tested me again. That is, I don't know what I even call this particular kind of testing. I mean, imagine you waiting for 3 days, then you pick a trade and that trade stopped you out. And you're right. The market just hit your SL, hit your stop loss and moved exactly as you expected it to move after waiting for 3 good days. That was exactly what happens to me this week. But guess what? I overcome them all. And I still came out strong this week. I really had a very profitable week this week. Almost at the verge of passing my account, just 0.9%, not even less than 1% for me to pass my phase 1 now. Just less than 1% to pass my phase 1. The market really tested me. Here was my first trade on Monday, AUDJPY. I analyzed the charts, wait for my entry, and I said, once this market comes to this level on AUDJPY, I'm going for this buy. And my take profit is at 1:3. And guess what? Because of this particular trade setup, I waited. That is, I never slept that night. Sunday night, I was awake. I was awake 11, if you're in Nigeria, the market opens around 9 p.m. GMT. So that is 10 p.m. Nigerian time. GMT time, just add 1 hour to it to get Nigerian time. So the first session, which is the Asian session, Australian Sydney session, opens by 10 a.m. So immediately the market opens. I was now waiting for the first 2 hours. Once Tokyo session opens, the spread of the markets will reduce. So I was waiting for the spread to reduce for me to take that trade. But guess what? The market never waited for the spread to reduce. It went to buy an entry. Look at the screenshot here. Tapped it in. Tap that entry and start moving immediately. Before the spread could reduce, the trade have already gone almost 1:1. Of which I can remember back in the days, 1 year ago, when I used to do this mistake over and over and over again. The next thing I would do is to chase that trade. FOMO comes in. I said, wow, wait for trade for this long. And the trade finally comes and I cannot pick it. No. I will still force that trade and pursue that trade and take that trade. But I overcome all those things this week. I just looked at the charts. I said, well, despite the fact that I'm awake waiting for this setup, it's gone is that it's gone. There's nothing I can do about it. I just allowed the market to move. That was how I lost my first trade entry. I did not take the trade again. On Tuesday, I worked the charts, spent time looking at the charts. No good setup that aligned well with the way I trade. On Wednesday, the same thing. Then finally on Thursday, look at this setup on USDJPY. This was my first trade setup on USDJPY. I looked at this trade. I said, well, I've waited for 3 days, seen good setups that I would have took, but I'd not take them because I'm patiently waiting. That's why I said when I told you that this market really tested me this week. I mean, see, I'm one of the best traders out there. I can tell you this thing for free. I'm one of the best traders out there. I don't need anybody to tell me this. I've just discovered the way I think, the way I do things now, the way I trade now. I can tell you that being profitable, strategy and being profitable, these are two, just trading and making money from trading. These are two entirely different things. They are not even closely related. Trading and making money from trading, these are two entirely different things. You can be trading and not making money. You can understand the chart, know how to trade, but still not be making money in the forex markets. Yes, that's one fact about the markets. But this week, I really proved that yes, I'm an improved, experienced trader. I took the next trade again. I took that trade on USDJPY, and guess what? Immediately I took that trade, I woke up, I checked the charts. It hit my SL, my stop loss immediately. And immediately it hit my SL, it moved back to profits. I woke up, I look at the chart, I was like, it is what it is. What has happened has happened. There's nothing I can do about it. So I was now waiting for my next setup again. I looked at that same pair again, USDJPY. I said, this market will still go up. I entered the right trade at the wrong time. So what do I do? So what did I did? I entered the market again the second time with the same 1% risk. And guess what? This time around, I said I'm going for 1:6. In short, let me just show you guys how I analyze the charts and how I come about the trade. My normal support and resistance level. I use trend line and horizontal support and resistance level. That's all I do in the charts. I don't trade any other strategy, no other setup. I just keep it simple. Support and resistance levels, nothing more. That's it. And I can tell you that I'm very profitable doing this thing. You can see it right here on this channel. I'm documenting my journey here. So let me just show you guys how I analyze the chart and how I came about that USDJPY trade. Here is how I took this trade on USDJPY today. Normally now, I do my simple support and resistance level, nothing more. So if we go to the larger time frame, that from the monthly charts, let's go to the monthly charts, or let's say from the weekly charts. I've discovered that this level, this particular level here, 145.764, is a very strong resistance level. That is, once price gets to the level, there's always a very strong reaction. So let's go to the daily charts. That's how I do my top-down analysis. So right now, as you can see right here, price acted as a resistance here. Come here, act as another resistance. Struggle to break above it. Here, this break here is a false break. Acted as another resistance here. Then I think it successfully break above it from this level right here. Let's go to the 4-hour chart so we have a clearer view. So here's it. Right here is a resistance level. Coming here, it acted as support. Another resistance, drop, resistance, drop. Then coming here, it gave us a false break above here, come back inside, acted as a resistance again, then dropped. Then right now, I think it successfully break above it, closed above it significantly. Then this is the retest. My first entry was at this level. I entered at this level. Although I was stopped out because that was a stop loss hunt here. So I entered somewhere here, placed my stop loss here. That trade stopped me out. Then I waited for another entry again because I know this is a bullish trend. I know that there is every tendency that this market is going to go up because this strong resistance level has been broken. So it came down here again. I entered again here, placed my stop loss here, and I'm going for 1:6. As you can see, look at it. I'm risking $96.15 and my take profit is $602. It's a swing trade. It's a swing trade though. I entered the trade yesterday and I've been holding it. And this happened to be my only setup for the week. So let's see how it plays out. I'm holding this trade. And once the trade hits my take profit, I'm done with phase 1. We head over to phase 2. That's it. You can see it. You guys can see the trade. So if not that, I don't hold trade, because one thing I told myself is I can't hold trade during weekends on my ProFirm accounts. Number one, to avoid high swap fees, because this ProFirm fundedness, they can charge you any amount they like on swap. Two, to avoid gaps. You understand? You cannot see one big gap, and you know gaps usually happen during weekend. You cannot see one big gap, boom, the gap will come now, take out your stop loss, and even give you additional load. You might be risking 1%, but end up losing 3% because of that gap. So to avoid gap and swap fees, I don't hold trade during weekend on my funded nest accounts. If it's in my own personal trading account, I can do that, but right here on funded nest, I don't do that. That's it. So here's my PNL for the week. That was my PNL for the week. To trade, forget about that ADUSD you are seeing there. That ADUSD was a mistake. You understand? I took 2 trades this week. The 2 trades was on the same USD JPY. The first one I entered quite too early, so I was stopped out. I still entered again, and this time around I closed with almost 1:5. Almost 1:5. If not for the weekend, I would have held this trade till it hit my take profit. And once that trade hits my take profit, I'm done with phase 1. So guys, that was how this week went. This week, I really had a very good week this week. And here's my current account balance now. I'm 7.1% up. Just remaining 0.9% for me to be done with phase 1. That's it. And for this, I just got a new laptop this week. So I just got this. So we're expecting from next week, guys, I'll be using this. I'll be sharing my screen with you guys, so it will make more sense this time around. You understand? We are growing. All this for $200. So we are growing, guys. We're growing. And this time around, I'll be sharing my analysis in a more detailed way. When I analyze my charts, the way I take my trades, you understand everything better. So please, if you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, help me grow this channel, please. And in case you are new to this channel, I'm Chibueze Joshua, and I share forex educational videos here, and I equally document my journey right here to $2 million in ProFirm funding on this channel. So please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, help me share this video to inspire other traders also. Thank you, and we'll come again next week. Thank you guys. Peace.